Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Southern California, and I am so excited to show you this card today. I've used the bundle called Lifetime of Love, and I usually just put a metallic strip in there, sheet, and so I can have my dies and my stamps right together. Okay, so that's what I'm using, and I'm doing this a little bit differently. Okay, so what I did is, okay, you need to use regular cardstock. In other words, you don't want to use the thick cardstock for this because it just, it's really difficult for a die that has this much detail to cut it out. It's kind of a pain. So anyway, so I cut this out, and I'm not kidding. I ran it through about 10 times. I have an electric machine because of my back. And then once I got this part out, I shifted it because, you know, if you turn something and run it through again at a different angle, it will cut it better. It'll come out. So let's see if I can get these little pieces out. Stampin' Up! Used to sell this little brush. Okay, I'm going to use the Take a Pick and see if I can just pop these out. Nope, can't pop them out. Okay, so I would have to actually put this back in, and you can easily do it, and just go run it a couple more times. I have another one cut out because I wasn't quite sure if that was going to help or happen or not, and it didn't. So yeah, I don't want to take the time to go run it through a couple more times, but that's exactly what I would do. Just run it through a couple more times so that I don't want to be fussing with this because that's a good way to ruin it. So we'll just set this aside. I can do that later. Okay, so here's my card, beautiful. And okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Thoughtful Journey paper, and I'm just going to take this little cutter. Okay, now I want to show you how I measured this. All right, so here we go. I put this like this. Okay, I need 3 and about a 1/16 to cover this complete opening. And I went, oh man, I don't want to do 3 and a 1/16 because if I do 3 and 3, then I could get 2 out of here. Well, what I discovered is I made a different kind of card with the rest of the paper, but for now I'm going to cut it at 3, and I'll show you how you can get 2 cards out of one sheet, even though you need 3 and a 1/16. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cut it at 3, just like that. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Okay, right, now actually I have to figure out where I want to cut it. Okay, so see, now we've got this. I want it down further. I want to do it like this one because that's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to cut maybe 1/8 of an inch off the top. Not too much. I'm just going to cut a little bit. Okay, so that's going to go there. Okay, and then you can just take your ruler and go, okay, I'm going to cut off about maybe 5/8 of an inch. So if I cut off 5/8 of an inch from the bottom, see, do I know how I'm going to do this on my big cutter? It'll just be easier. Okay, so I'm going to cut off 5/8 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, now take a close look. I'm going to be short a little bit of picture on either side or both sides. But the reason it doesn't matter is because once you put this in, see, this is about, I don't know, between a 32nd and a 1/16. It's not quite a 1/16. It's more like a 32nd of an inch. 30. So you see how it's going to cover up any little tiny bit that's not showing. So go ahead and feel free to cut your paper at 3. All right, so this inside part that came out, we're not going to need that. You can just stamp a greeting on that or something. Okay, so now let's go ahead, and I'm going to use my adhesive, and I always tell you guys, okay, fine, I use Dotto. Let's see if that's short enough. Yeah. Okay, so you want to put the adhesive. I use Dotto because it's repositionable. Stampin' Up! Used to sell this. That's how I got to know about it. And I like to change my mind in 5 minutes. I like to change it in a month. I like to change it in a year. So I want something that's repositionable. Okay. Okay, so now let's just put this in. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna it's okay if it shows a little tiny bit of white on either side. Actually, see, oops, there's a little tiny bit right there. Okay, that's good. Then I'm gonna open it. Oops, see right there? It's okay. It's okay because the white insert is gonna cover it up. So now what we wanna do is we wanna put a panel over the, oh shoot. This is not the panel I wanted. So let me go cut another one real quickly. I ruined some cardstock earlier today in the printer, and I guess I pulled that piece out when I was looking for something to back this. Okay, so I'm just cutting this down by about 1/8 of an inch, not much. Okay, so this is gonna go on the inside back. We'll try that again. Okay, here we go. So it's just slightly smaller, not by much. Okay, closes nicely. Okay, so ooh, it's already pretty. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is just take this piece, put on our adhesive. So really, this card is very easy to make if you have patience for cutting out the die. If you don't have patience and you're not willing to run it through quite a few times, then I would say don't make this card. Okay, so see how this is gonna, whoops. You wanna put your flower base in first. Make sure it's situated properly. And then this just kind of will go in like that. Okay, then, alrighty, I don't know what I did. Boy, I'm really organized today. I don't know what I did with my gorgeous little flowers, and I've already cut them out too. So let me cut some more out. Sorry, you guys, I'm usually pretty organized, but I forgot about the little flowers, and I don't know what happened to them. So this will just take a second. Okay, so now I'm just gonna poke these out. All right, here we go. Put my die back away. Oh my goodness, have you ever rebought an entire die set because you lost one die? Yes, I have. I have done that. Don't want to do it again. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add some pretty little, this is Petunia Pop. It's one of the new in colors. And actually I like all of the in colors. This is probably my favorite new one, but I do like them all. Okay, I think I'm gonna move this one down a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna get some rhinestones. And I'll just put some of the little guys on here. Okay, see if we can save that one. Okay. All right, so then the question was, I thought about putting a big one on here. Oops, what happened to that little guy? That must have been the one I saw. Okay, we'll try it again. There we go. Okie dokie. All right, so, you know, I thought about, well, what do I do now? Do I put a greeting on it? I don't know. I think it's just a beautiful note card. And I'm going to show you now some others that I've made. One has a greeting on it. And then the rest of them, I think I'm just going to leave as a beautiful note card. Okay, now, the other half of this, what I did the first time, let's see. Okay, so do you remember when we were making these kinds of cards? I made quite a few of them. And what you do, now this die is required, or you could say retired. It's one of the scallop contour dies. And so what you do is you start with the 3 1/4 inch square and you tape this on and you run it through. I'm never giving up my scallop contour die, just so you know. Okay, so then you end up with this. Then you turn this around, make sure a scallop goes over a scallop, and you can see on the back that it matches. Okay, then you cut it out, and then this is what you end up with. So what I did is I took the other part of this paper and made this kind of card. Now, I didn't put a greeting on it because I don't know who I'm going to send this to. I did put this on with dimensionals. So I'm not going to send it until I know who I want to send it to. But isn't that a beautiful way to use the other part of that card? Okay, now you could also have this card just be straight. You don't have to make it fancy with the scallop. And then the cardstock is 3 1/4 and the DSP is 3. And so it can go this way. Here's another one this way. Be grateful for what you have. Be proud of who you are. Those are both from my So Sincere set. Or you can have it go this way, like this one's going to do. This one is so thankful for you, but you could, I don't know what I'm going to say it. You could actually say just about anything. So I'll just save it. I just like to have these cards available. So when I'm ready to send them, I have them ready to go. Okay, now here's a card from, this one is from Meandering Meadows. So I did exactly the same thing and just put white. Okay, so you could, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is a 1 inch strip. I could put that in there, but again, I'm just going to wait and see, you know, who I'm going to send it to. And then here's another one from Meandering Meadows. Aren't these just stunning? And I really don't know that they need a greeting on them. I think you could just put a greeting inside. Okay, then, okay, are you ready for this? Do you remember the, what was the Airy, Flight and Airy from Celebration? Okay, how about a wedding card? I know this is retired, but it was the #1 choice out of the entire Celebration catalog, so I know some of you have it. So you can do exactly the same thing. And then this little word love is from the Lifetime of Love set. So I thought, okay, this could be a wedding card or it could be an anniversary card. And then this die cut is from Stylish Shapes. So you could certainly do this. And then I added, you know, the little leaves up at the top. And again, I'm not putting anything inside because I don't know if it's going to be wedding or anniversary. I'm not quite sure. Okay, now, are you ready for this? Okay, so I decided what would happen if I switched it around and did the DSP on the outside and did a plain piece of cardstock on the inside. So here's what I did. Okay, so I'm using the 2024-26 in color papers, and I used Pretty in Pink. So here's my only thing. When you start on this card, you have to take a sheet. Of course, you're going to cut it down. I'm not making it now, but if you were to make it, this is pretty thick all by itself. So when you put this thick piece of DSP onto the regular cardstock, don't ever use the thick for this. Okay, so you cut it to fit, and then you put the die on top of it. And I'm going to tell you something, that is a little on the thick side. So again, I ran it through about 10 times, and the top part came out, you know, very easily. This bottom part, not so much. So I think I ran it through another 10 times. You guys are probably going to say, I'm never going to make this card. But anyway, Remember, I've got an electric cutter, so it doesn't matter. So I ran it through again, and then this part right here, that part right there, those are the parts that are kind of hard. And so once I was able to take this out initially and put the, here's the die, okay, put the die back over it, then you can switch the angle and run it through, okay? And that always makes it cut out better if you just will change the angle a little bit. Okay, so then with a plain Pretty in Pink piece of cardstock, you're going to cut out this part because you don't want white on top of white. So I wanted Pretty in Pink on top of white. And so then, but I'm just saying, it takes some patience. I did put a little strip in this one. Again, sending hugs, so happy to celebrate you. That's from Layering Leaves. I just love those two greetings together. So, all right, so you've got quite a variety here. I just love this Petunia Pop. I mean, there's not one of these cards that I don't love, but wouldn't you love to get this as a note card? Oh my gosh, I think it's so pretty. So thank you for joining me. I hope this will give you some ideas that you can, new ways that you can use the Lifetime of Love die cut set. And I will look forward to having you join me the next time. Alrighty.